Say it. I just gotta say it. Given the just stratospheric entrance of Vice President Kamala Harris into the presidential campaign, and she has now secured enough delegates to become the nominee, you're gonna look real crazy being on the other side of that line, particularly as a person of color, but really as anyone who claims to have any connection to the culture. You're gonna look real weird and real lonely on that side. The door needs to close behind Amber. And she looked crazy over there. But shut the door behind her. You really are gonna look crazy being on that side, given the cultural phenomenon of Vice President Kamala Devi Harris. Okay,
you should have known this was coming. I told you this was coming, that they are going to try to shame you into voting for KAMALA. They are going to use everything in their arsenal. They now know, however, that calling me and Uncle Tom will no longer work. They know that now calling you a racist no longer works, so they have matriculated to the weird thing. You're going to look weird. You're going to look crazy. You're going to be on the other side of that line. You see, the one thing black folk don't like is not sitting at the cool kids table. We have to sit at the cool kids table. We put a high premium on being cool. We don't put a premium on doing homework. We don't put a premium on, self-reflection. We don't put a premium on critical thinking. But the one thing we put a high premium on is being cool and being in the in crowd. And that's what she is playing on. She knows it. Now, when she refers to Amber, you know it's Amber Rose, because when she made that speech at the RNC, it was effective. Those 23 million followers of Amber Rose, she's going to sway a handful of them. And Joy knows that. And so she has to paint her as they're the crazy one. You're weird. You're going to be weird. Do you want to be weird? You don't want to be weird, do you? Most black people don't. I mean, it's actually true for everyone. Everyone wants to be invited to the party. You don't want to be sitting outside. You don't want to sit with the nerds. You want to be thought of, being cool. And so this whole you're going to look weird thing, I think, comes from KAMALA. Which I'm not kidding. They're taking her lead on this, and here you go.
Well, it's just plain weird. I mean, that's the box you put that in, right?
It's not just a weird style that he brings. It's that this leads to weird policies.
That is weird behavior.
More extreme, more weird, more erratic.
I mean, on the other side, they're just weird.
The 32 ounces of weird.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate.
And by the way, they are weird.
It is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
J.D. Vance, just dumb Vance, is pretty weird.
J.D. Vance is pretty weird. That comes from the Republican, Ana Navarro. Just weird. He's just weird. They're just weird. We're all weird. We're weird. Now, there's J.D. Vance, and I can see what Ana Navarro means. I mean, look at him. Doesn't he look weird? Doesn't he look weird hugging his wife? That looks weird to me. Oh, who's that little thing that she's holding? Is that a newborn? I guess it is. Well, that's weird. Isn't that weird? Looks weird. I think it's weird. Now, the whole thing about Joy Reid coming out trying to shame black people into voting for KAMALA shouldn't surprise you. And I can almost guarantee you with 100% certainty that some black church is going to give her the pulpit, and she is going to be telling a church of probably 70% black women that if you don't vote for her, you're voting for your own demise in Donald Trump. And they're all going to be sitting there rocking back and forth, fanning themselves, saying, go ahead, girl. That's what's going to happen. Those pastors should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not. And this whole thing about, see, here's the one thing. Joy Reid tells you, you're going to look real crazy. You're going to look weird being over there on that side of the line. It's like, Joy, have you looked in the mirror? Because really? But here's the thing. If you were to say, well, you know, you've seen one black voter, you've seen them all, they all kind of see life the same way. And if they're black, they're going to, you know, vote the same way because they're kind of like a monolith. They will call you a racist. But that's exactly what Joy Reid is demanding of you. Hold on a second. From Fox News, black male voters have surprising reaction during MSNBC roundtable when asked about community Trump support. This is amazing. A group of black voters told MSNBC that they each personally know of at least one black man that is committed to voting for former President Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. MSNBC legal analyst Charles Coleman conducted a roundtable discussion with 4 black male voters ranging in age about the upcoming presidential election and how having Harris as the presumptive Democratic nominee has affected their vote in the network special. Get this, quote, how many of you know a black man who has expressed to you that they're committed to voting for Donald Trump? Coleman asked on MSNBC's special. Black Men in America, the road to 2024. Get this. All 4 men raised their hands. All 4 men raised their hand. Do you know any black men that are committed to voting for Donald Trump? All 4 raised their hands. Quote, for the brothers who have told that to you, has the emergence of Kamala Harris changed that? They said that they're going to vote for Donald Trump for sure. Well, did Kamala Harris change that? No, they replied unanimously. One respondent said his friend was voting for Trump because of the stimulus checks. Another said that the black men, he knew the black men, plural, the black men he knew that who support the former president are doing so because they're concerned about interest rates. Trump is going to lower the rates. The sentiment among the group is, I just need that guy in there. He's just saying, we just need him to be in the White House because this is ridiculous. And here's the problem. They need black men to shame other black men. But apparently Al Sharpton, Joy Reid, and all of the others are not as effective as they once were. Who could have seen that one coming? And what they want to do is they want to shame you into not voting for Donald Trump. And it doesn't really matter because here's the one thing you're not going to hear. KAMALA's policies. They're not going to talk about that. They can't. I mean, if they start talking about KAMALA's policies, you're going to have to talk about all those black people she incarcerated. All those black people. she refused to show exculpatory evidence. Like, if you start talking about that, you're going to have to talk about, Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Hobbs. You can't do that. And I'm sorry, Kevin Cooper. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about her policies, her open border policies. You have to do this. And this tells you why they installed KAMALA. They figured, and this is, maybe it's cynical on my part, but they figured black people are dumb. The Democratic Party figured black people are dumb. And we can shame them into voting for KAMALA. And we'll just call her a black woman. Now, she's never called herself a black woman. Nobody's ever called Kamala Harris a black woman. But that's what they're going to do because they think that we're a bunch of morons. But if enough of us, not all, enough of us, I'm thinking 20, 25, maybe even 30% say, sorry. Like the other guys were saying, I'm really concerned with interest rates, so it's going to be a great big fat no for Kamala. And you had to have known that this was coming because I told you, months ago. And it won't change anything. Why? Well, everybody has to go to the grocery store. Everybody has to go to the gas station. It's not going to change anything. You can swap out Joe for the blackest woman you can find. It ain't going to change anything. Sorry. All right, that's it for now. Hey, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.